With an update on Sasha Banks and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Talking about Bray Wyatt returning to WWE, Karrion Kross told The Mirror, "I've always had a very strong admiration for his creativity. I feel like he opens the door not only for fans, literally, but he opens up new avenues for us to create for everyone as performers. When he dares to do something different, it just brings more possibilities." One of my favorite quotes, especially growing up, was the old saying, "Anything can happen in WWE," and when he's around, it's totally true. When taking to Twitter to praise Sami Zayn, former WWE writer Vince Russo revealed, "As I went to tweet about Sami Zayn, I saw he has me blocked. If I was critical of Sami, it was because of lack of character. There are thousands of great wrestlers. You need the other half to get over. Sami has found that other half, and now has indeed gotten himself over. Kudos." Sharing his thoughts on Christian Cage, Kurt Angle mentioned on his podcast that Christian Cage is the most underrated wrestler of all time. He never gets the credit that he deserves. He's a superstar, don't get me wrong, but he's always been in the shadow of Edge, and he's actually just as good as Edge, and he's actually better than all of us at putting matches together. Also during his podcast, Angle would praise Seth Rollins as he noted, "You know what? It's not too much of a leap to say that he is the next Shawn Michaels. I believe he will be eventually. He is not there yet because Shawn put in a lot more years. So, 30 something years." Taking to his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T called out fans of AEW for their treatment of pro wrestlers, as he said, "The AEW fans, man, they don't care about those guys in the ring. They do not care about those guys working. Those guys they're nothing more than toys, video games for these guys. They don't care about those guys in the ring. If they're not out there getting a 'this is awesome' chant, they don't give a damn about these guys going out there getting hurt. They really don't." Touching on a potential match with WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, Bayley told Sportskeeda, "I don't know, she just never came back. She only wants to show up in Toronto, which, come on, if you want to be around, if you want to be on our show, you gotta show up more than once. Show up in California, show up where I'm from. I would love to have a match with Trish Stratus someday, but it's just a matter of if she's ever gonna be ready." In that same interview, Bayley was asked who she would recruit for her faction, saying, "I don't think I would recruit anyone on Damage Control right now, or at least I won't tell you who it would be. But if I needed another member for War Games, another teammate, it would be Rhea Ripley, because she just body slammed Luke Gallows." Bayley also had this to say about a mid-card title for the women in WWE. "I mean, it wouldn't hurt. It would be nice to have another title. I think it's just gonna take time. When we wanted those women's tag team titles, it took a long time, and it took someone actually fighting for them. So if that's what we want, someone has to stand up for it and really fight for it and prove that it's going to be a benefit for the division." Talking about her role as the spokesperson for Legado del Fantasma, Zelina Vega said on Busted Open Radio, "The nice thing is, I feel I have a little more control over where I'm going now. Now, people are going to see me in a similar light, but they have no idea what's going to come after this. They have no idea why I'm with the group I'm with. I think all of these questions are going to be answered soon. That's the fun part. You keep having people wanting more. One thing people have always wanted to see is, when is Zelina going to be in the title picture? When is Zelina going to be the leader for herself? I'm gonna be, but I've never aligned myself with people that I didn't see as stars. This group is on another level. To be able to help introduce them to the WWE universe, it's a new chapter in my life. I'm excited to bring them to the forefront, but also I'm right front and center, and it's cool." On his drive-through podcast, Jim Cornette, when reviewing the AEW roster, realized Sting was contracted as he took this time to call out the company. Oh, I forgot Sting's still there. Yes, you keep Sting. You try to figure out what has motivated Sting to dive off the balcony at 62 years of age for these cretins. But yeah, you know, Sting is of name, he's a legend, he's an icon, and you play to that strength instead of trying to make him one of the boys and just show up when it snows in Florida. 2 pay-per-views a year, he would make you his salary back and more in some feature match. Not the main event, but a feature match. And then you make people hungry for it again because it doesn't happen for another 6 months. Speaking about no longer having Cody Rhodes and AEW, TNT champion Wardlow told Eat, Sleep, Podcast, Repeat, I don't know if I would say let down because I love Cody, and I will support whatever he wants to do with his life, so I would never hold that against him, and I told him that. I personally do miss his presence in the locker room. He does have a very positive backstage presence, and he was somebody I could comfortably go to and speak to, so I do miss having him around, but I will always wish him the best of luck in whatever he does. Recalling the time Brock Lesnar stopped to give him advice, Madcap Moss told WWE Deutschland, to be able to share the ring in the locker room with a guy like Randy Orton, anytime I get a chance, I'll pick his brain. As much as he is a menace, destruction machine, I've actually had Brock Lesnar pull me to the side. We both went to the University of Minnesota, and certainly when he gave me advice, I listened. Those are just a couple of examples. There's a lot of guys in the locker room that I respect and listen to. Speaking about the head of WWE Creative, Triple H, Logan Paul mentioned how appreciative he is for the game's guidance. Telling Alternative Sport, Triple H is incredible, man. He is very generous with his time and his energy, and he's so intentional when he speaks and when he gives me advice. I know that every single word that comes out of his mouth is extremely valuable, so he takes the time to point me in the right direction and guide me. With it claimed from the CM Punk camp that his dog Larry was hit by a door and had to have his teeth removed because of it from the all-out backstage brawl, Dave Meltzer of F4W Online got quotes from those with AEW who are close to the elite that said, a completely made-up story. Punk's losing in the investigation results and is desperate. There was a multiple weeks-long investigation and this was oddly not discovered. Also, it so happened to be mentioned the moment there was news about the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega possibly coming back. It's insane that people would even humor this. One person who was allegedly in the room seconds after the incident started and isn't affiliated with either side said the following to Meltzer: the dog story is a complete lie. When the altercation was happening, Punk was a total psycho. Kenny picked the dog up to save him from being hurt and gave him to Mega. Mega was holding the dog, screaming at Punk to stop. Punk didn't even register that his baby was being held by a stranger in the middle of a fight. It didn't stop him one bit. They never spoke to Lucy Guy, the only person in the room who didn't work regularly for AEW other than the security, because she was a non-factor. Sat in the corner the whole time as her husband was throwing chairs, punches, and biting Kenny Omega. During their recent promo segment on Dynamite, William Regal revealed how he crushed MJF's dreams of joining the WWE. Talking about this on his podcast, Regal noted that this is Darren now. This isn't William Regal. First of all, it's bothered me, but it hasn't bothered me. What I said was real the other. If all it took was for you to get an extra email that I told you not to send me to get you this fired up, to get you this good at what you're doing, job done. It actually is sad that you've let that be a problem for you for 7 years. He doesn't remember this. It's common knowledge now. Not long after we met, I had 2 bleeds on the brain and I was completely isolated. I was having treatment because I was having 3 weeks amnesia and 2 bleeds on the brain, and they stopped all emails coming to me. There was a lot of people, Ricky Starks being one of them, Sammy Guevara being another person that I just sort of went on the missing list for a long time. You don't hear them moaning about me at 19. Again, I don't consider you a kid. Maybe if you are, you've had too much of a sheltered life. life. Maybe at 19, maybe that's showing you he wasn't ready. If one email gets him that upset, imagine him turning up at WWE's PC, and he's got to do 5 days a week and maybe get told off a little bit, and maybe things not go his way. Things have worked out very well for him. Given her walkout from WWE over the summer, many are wondering if Sasha Banks will return to the company, as the Wrestling Observer noted that she is still under contract to WWE, but there is no word on when she'll return, as there was said to be hang-ups in negotiations for a new deal. Amidst all these reports, Banks would take to Twitter to write, "I hope the rumors are true." Talking about Bray Wyatt, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful would give an update on storyline plans for the star, noting that we're told that several pieces of Bray Wyatt's past were to be included in some of his segments, at least as of the creative on Thursday. Specifically, we've heard that the rocking chair that he used during his initial WWE run was to be brought in. In addition, the Fiend mask is set to be used, but plans called for it to be ripped up by someone, either Bray or another talent. It seems there are talks of a major opponent for the recently returned Wyatt, with the Wrestling Observer pointing out, with the success of the Wyatt angle, expect there to be more of it. Wyatt has become the top merch seller over the bloodline. While it would be best to keep them apart for a while, the idea is Reigns versus Wyatt could be the biggest program in a long time, since Wyatt is so hot right now. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.